Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Screen Searcher podcast. Today we are going to be discussing some topics and how we feel about them. Let's get into these topics.
All right, we got a couple things. Have you ever seen the videos of the people like in China? They have them where like they
People in China?
no they like run up these giant structures that like hang over a cliff and it's like stairs. I'll show it to you. I was just looking at it.
I've not seen these videos of these people.
Like this.
That just looks like a Fortnite sweat, to be honest.
No, it's real, but it's basically there's like nets under it, and it's an optical illusion, but it is a set of stairs that go out over like a giant cliff. I feel like I would just not do that, even though there's a net. Like I wouldn't. I don't have a death wish, you know.
Are you able to jump off, or are you supposed to go back down? Like, how do you get down?
You have to go back. Oh my God.
I show speed, man. He's doing a lot right now. I'd like to talk about him for a little bit. He just recently went and trained with Shaolin monks and, received kung fu training. And I think that's really cool because he basically has beat life now and he's just doing side quests. He's kind of at Snoop Dogg's level.
Yeah, which is crazy because like he just streams. Maybe we should stream the podcast.
Streaming is pretty OP. You know who's going to go stream with Snoop Dogg?
Who?
Togi.
Isn't that wild? Now you pay for stream like the way you pay for a feature on an album.
You just pay to have guests, and streaming is it's a big thing. It's been big for a while now, but not gaming related streams I think are relatively new.
Well, yeah, I mean, how does that work exactly? Because that might be something we could do.
It's like people say that Kai Cenat's a real life iCarly. That's kind of the best. That's comparable.
What does he like run around? I've never
watched a stream, but I just see he has robots. He sets stuff on fire. He does fireworks in his room. He does a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, we have set fireworks off in our house. But it looks interesting. I haven't watched, but
you know what's interesting is you know how like Getty Images used to be. Basically, Getty Images would take their professional photographers would be hired by Getty Images. They'd take pictures at red carpets and things, or paparazzi. They'd stamp the image with Getty Images as a watermark, and then you pay to have it removed. Now people
want the watermark.
The Getty Images, they want the watermark because it's clout. So it's like, has their business completely fallen apart, or have they just done such a good job that everybody wants it?
Yeah, no, I can't say I'd ever remove because there's some pictures of me with the watermark out there, and I make sure to post the ones that have the watermark.
It's clout.
Because that's status. That's like people, are selling your likeness. That means you're established. You're important. It's dope. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Exactly. I had just had that thought the other day. Has anything cool happened with you
recently?
Yeah.
Anything cool? I've been doing a lot of visual effects work recently. And that's been pretty cool because growing up I did visual effects work, and growing up I didn't pay for software necessarily. I through miscellaneous routes acquired my goods. And now I have this entire suite at a company that I work at, and it's all these really nice programs that they have licenses for. And it's interesting to see how much more you can do when you have all the different licenses that go together. It's so many headaches that I used to have that are just a thing of the past now.
Have you mastered all the new features on like Adobe Premiere?
I wouldn't say mastered, but I definitely use them a lot. Like transcribing and auto captions is a game changer.
What does that do?
So, if you need projects transcribed, which every single film festival, streaming service, basically everyone ever needs you to transcribe your project and, create the closed captions. You can do that entirely inside of Premiere now.
Oh, it does that?
It's all automated, yeah.
We need to get that. What is it a month for the Adobe?
It's a game changer. 50. Maybe 50 it might be more, but I've seen 50. I think for like 2 licenses.
That's not bad though.
It's not bad
if you're making money with it.
If you just pick up like one, like what is it? Like I think it total up to $500. My math might be shot, but a couple $100 a year. If you pick up one freelance gig,
then it's paid.
Your suite's paid for.
Yeah. Dude, I've been watching the White Lotus on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's kind of just a sitcom with interesting situations, and nothing really happens until the very end. Things are always happening, but it's like they're so inconsequential to the story and they lead to nothing. But it's like that's a different type of show. It's like looking into people's lives and then just it's kind of like a gossipy soap opera, dramatized soap opera, if that makes sense.
I don't really watch stuff like that. I've been the main thing that I watched recently, the last thing that I sat down and I carved out time to watch episodes of was Invincible on Amazon.
What is that? I haven't even.
So
Well, I watched a little bit of
Invincible is
Adolescence, but I
another.
haven't seen Invincible. Oh, I watched the studio with Seth Rogen.
This is another Seth Rogen project. Seth
Invincibles?
Rogen runs the superhero world.
But it's because Point Grey Productions with Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen.
They run it.
They're doing exactly what we want to do. They have their own little production company, and they just make their shit because they have star power within the company.
Between The Boys and Invincible, everything they put out superhero related is a fucking hit.
And Superbad.
Well, it's not superhero, but
Superbad. Wait, so what is the show about?
Right. It's just about this evil Superman is the best way to summarize it. This kid's born on Earth and he has powers, and his dad is an alien who is good for his whole life, and then turns out he's batshit crazy and he tries to take over the world, and he just tries to kill his kid, and then a bunch of other aliens show up and keep trying to kill him. It's a really great show. That's a very brief overview. But I sat down and I watched it. The animation was really good in the last 2 episodes.
You got to watch the studio. I mean, the first episode's out and it's pretty funny, but it's one of those shows where if you're not interested in film and filmmaking, it might not be appealing to you. It might be kind of boring, but it is a funny show.
If you're not interested in film and filmmaking, why are you here?
That's also true.
Fuck off.
Basically, Seth Rogen plays the studio head, and he wants to make artistic movies, but he's like a compulsive liar, and he pretty much just appeases whoever he's in the room with. So he says yes to all these things, which is kind of similar to
I had similar encounters.
But basically, he greenlights this project for Kool-Aid. He's told to do a Kool-Aid movie using like existing IP, like Barbie. So he's got to make this box office, 4-quadrant. Everybody's gonna watch Kool-Aid movie. But then Martin Scorsese comes in and wants to make a movie about Jonestown. So then he goes, wasn't the thing that they used to kill everybody Kool-Aid? Let's call the movie Kool-Aid. He agrees to pay some ridiculous amount of money for this like art house film by Martin Scorsese using the Kool-Aid IP. And then the studio boss above him is like not with it, of course. So that was interesting.
Another project that if you don't like filmmaking, you won't appreciate, but if you do, it's definitely worth the watch, is Lights and Magic. It's all about the history of ILM, which ILM is just like...
Wait, Lights and Magic, what's it on?
Disney Plus.
Is it Lights and Magic? It's on. Is it a documentary?
Yeah, it's a whole documentary about the history of ILM, which ILM is Industrial Lights and Magic. For those of you who don't know, that is George Lucas's visual effects company. It's a subsidiary of Lucasfilm, and that company was made just to invent the technology to make Star Wars.
How long is the documentary?
It was like 8 episodes, I think, but there's a second season now. But it just goes into how it was started and how everybody there was just like a bunch of young, innovative
so it's a reality
people.
Show.
No, it's a lot of archival stuff, but it's pretty cool. They did a whole second season. I haven't watched the second one yet, but if you're interested in visual effects, no.
How do you watch it?
I watched it when I had access to Disney Plus through one of my lovers. Basically, so if you're interested in film, it's really cool. They dive into the whole process. It's definitely worth the watch. So, there's a second season out now. They talk about how it was started, how George Lucas made it just to be able to do Star Wars because nobody even knew how to make that come to life at the time. It's not.
Wait, how did he do that? So him and James Cameron are the two guys that are like that I know of that are two like technologically advanced filmmakers.
Lord of the Rings would be the third,
and
because he started Weta for Lord of the Rings.
What's his name?
I forgot off the top of my head, but I know his name.
Oh fuck!
If I heard it, I'd be like, oh, he's Lord of the Rings.
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson. Him, James Cameron, but mainly him and George Lucas, I would say more so. Those two are they're big guys as far as visual effects goes because they're two companies and they do everything. If it's a blockbuster, they've worked on it, guys.
Once we get the money for it, once we start getting movies, we should turn Render-O into that.
We're going to, because Blender is winning Academy Awards now, so it's acceptable. Blender's been in. I guarantee you. I put money on the fact that there will be Blender shots in this Until Dawn movie coming out because the director is like one of the kings of Blender as well.
Who is it? Is it David
Sandberg?
Yeah.
He uses Blender. He put Blender shots in everything from Annabelle Creations to Lights Out, and I don't think Until Dawn will be any different.
I don't know why. I just got hit with this massive, like, fucking, maybe it's dust and shit, but, like, sneeze attack. Like I feel like I'm sneezing and my throat's got shit in it now. What is that? Do you have that?
I don't know. You're gonna have to man up. I'm not
Oh my
experiencing
God.
that.
Like I just got pounded with this.
I'm not having those problems right now. But I think David Sandberg's movie is gonna be really good.
I wanted to see The Woman in the Yard, and I might still go see it. I don't know. I think horror is kind of having its moment, but I don't know if it's. I don't know what the next five, like, what's the next trend in film going to be?
I think video game movies.
Really?
If Until Dawn goes how the game went.
What is it? If Until Dawn is what game?
Until Dawn.
Well, you
is
might be right.
The PlayStation
they did a
exclusive
Minecraft game.
Yeah, Minecraft as well. So if these are a hit, I think everybody's going to be looking to buy video game rights just to have them. And then once they start to inevitably flop because they're doing too much of it, they'll just sit on the rights for years.
They should do.
I think video game movies is a trend though. Raka almost got in on that, but that fell through with their Street Fighter deal.
But now the whole movie's in shambles, I think.
Because they lost Raka.
Yeah. Well, no, not because they lost them, but after they lost them, it fell apart. The whole thing. But those guys would have been great for it. I mean,
that's what they've been doing for
their
freaking years now. They're amazing at the choreographing the fight scenes. They do wire work for YouTube videos. If you know anything about wire work, it's like that's a lot to do to do wire stunts, and they'd have like breakaway walls.
How does wire work? Essentially, you just do the wire stuff, and then you cross it out in post.
You just get rid of it in post.
That's it.
Yep.
Can we wire work?
We can. It's just really expensive and time consuming.
I mean, what is expensive about it?
The wires, the setups, the harnesses. It's a pulley system that has to yank a person up and drop them, and it has to pull them, and you have to be trained on these. It's like they hire like professional gymnasts and athletes because you have to be able to roll out of it with the harness, and like they'll pick you from certain locations, and if they need you to tumble backwards, they'll pick you lower. If they need you to fall on your head, they pick you higher.
I think for us is like, once again, I don't think that doing wire work would really be an efficient way to grow our following quick. You know what I mean?
I would say absolutely not, because quantity matters just as much as quality these days.
True. Yes and no. I mean, I think that here's the thing, you gotta do quantity to get quality.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have, you kind of want to build a library of content for people to fall back on. So there's a healthy mix.
I do feel some scratching in my throat. I don't know what that is.
That's good for social media. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I was fine.
Probably because we moved a bunch of shit around.
And then I sit down, and then all of a sudden, maybe it's in the jackets, like I'm sneezing. It has to be the jackets.
We're allergic to our pimp coats.
No, there's probably dust on them.
Imagine that.
I've written some funny clips out for today that will clip. For anybody who doesn't understand how we do this so far, I want to start to work in these funny moments into the pod, but because we're kind of new at this, we're on episode 20 right now. Over the next year, I want to bank 100 episodes by the end of the year. That's my goal. So I'm going to start doing some solo ones and basically just upping our production on these. The thing is, though, we write like these little funny bits out that are used to promote the pod, and I want to like work that material into the pod itself. But the thing is, when you're having a natural, organic conversation, funny moments will just arise. And the others are more like sketches and bits to promote the show, which works as well. But I want this to be entertaining and funny as well. So I think that will come with having more people on the show, and maybe rearranging our set. Like I like this press junket kind of look, but I think a couch in the corner would.
I am personally all against the couch. You guys should comment this. We'll throw this up on the socials and let us know what you think. I'm against the couch because our lighting has drastically improved from our first episode to now, and that's because we have a wide open space, and these chairs are right in the middle of the room, and you can't just move a couch around like that. We would lose our hair lights. We'd lose the background. The production value, in my opinion, with a couch would go way down. And at the end of the day, we're film people. So I like the director's chairs. I think it's our thing. I think that the couch makes us just like everybody else.
That is true. But you know what might work? If because maybe we when we get another camera, and to have more conversational flow, we kind of do a round circle with a circle with the chairs. And then we can have people sitting them, and we have like two cameras, one covering each.
What if we just pick a random person and we cut to the fan cam? We just have fans send in videos of them listening to the podcast.
That'd be kind of funny. I don't know. I wish we had more space. We have space is not our problem.
Pretty okay with the space we have right now. We had an obnoxious table that we've rearranged, so I was able to light this to my heart's content, and I was really happy with being able to move the lights around in the open space, which is also why I'm against the couch. If it's up against the wall, you're losing production value in my opinion.
That's probably true. Well, I'm probably just saying this because like we haven't like hit it off yet, and I'm like looking for things to make it work. But I don't think the couch will solve our problems. I think we just
don't think a couch is going to make us influencers.
Yeah, no. That's probably true. Probably spot on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool. You guys haven't even seen what we can really do fully yet because there's colorful lights you could do. We're keeping it pretty stock. If you want to get into the filmmaking nitty gritty, it's all 4,000 Kelvin. But we could do like RGB shit. We could set a party light. These lights are pretty neat once you tinker with them enough. So
I think we need to get guests on the show, and we have some people we could use as guests. The only thing is the studio itself's not done. It's kind of a mess down here outside of us.
It is. You guys like see the finished area, but behind the camera, there's still things that are being moved in. There's a whole editing bay that's going in, so we still have to do that. We still have to finalize everything in paint.
Also, the other thing would be that we have limited space down here to have, and these chairs, even with 3, it's hard to fit. What if we did like a TMZ type setup? You know what I mean? Where our podcast is more
like working off a table.
No, where our podcast is more of like a production studio. Like we had like someone at the desk in a chair. We had someone here. We had cameras on all of us, and we just kind of have our conversations that way.
Cool, but I also think once again it takes away production value because like there's just no way we'd be able to light each one of those desks professionally. There's not enough space for that, So like, and then there are obviously not going to be 3 Blackmagics with 3 Sigma lenses everywhere, so you'll lose production value.
We'll have 2.
Yeah, but then are 2 people going to be sitting at the same desk?
Do you think that the Pixis that we're going to be getting is higher quality than this camera? I hope so.
I think it'll probably, honestly, I'm sure it'll look the same as this. This is a pretty high-end lens, so it'll probably look the same, to be honest.
So then what are we getting it for?
The fact that it's approved.
It's not.
It's not approved. Well, that's kind of the question that I raised to you. Why are we getting it?
Well, no, I mean, I think we should get it because if we're making like a full feature-length film, we don't. I mean, this camera, I think it looks slightly better, the Pixis.
You could watch side-by-sides of like the Blackmagic to others, and like it looks.
Yeah, and the other thing was we need another camera because we want to do I want to do a documentary. I want to be able to shoot like 3 feature films on this camera. And I don't want anybody to question the quality of it at all. And I don't think they would with this camera. But also we'll need 2 cameras regardless, so we might as well. I just think it'd probably be a good move to get our hands on it. Well,
the thing that does it for me is it can take the L mount and the Alexa lenses, which those you will see a difference with. Those are the movie lenses. If your lighting is right.
So we're using one of those, right?
Yeah, that's what we're going to get.
So basically,
there's different models of this camera.
So what we had come up with was we're using that for the main shots, and then if we have to intercut camera footage on this, it will be unnoticeable. Mm-hmm. So it is an improved quality image.
I don't know if people know this, but fucking Better Call Saul, there's shots in there thrown in. Avengers, there's shots, where the Blackmagic is used as a destroy camera, where it's like if it's going to get this exact setup right here.
With the lens?
Down to the same lens.
Really?
Yeah, maybe not for Avengers, but Better Call Saul, this is what they ran. They ran a 6K, but it's the same.
Well, the Pixis is a 6K, but
yeah, except it's a box design. The biggest thing is cosmetic. It's a box design.
Yeah, but I also like it because this is going to sound a little goofy, but I want for our behind the scenes and our footage to look like we have a real camera. I think appearance matters a little bit.
It does. I've been able to build this one up to look pretty realistic with all the monitors and the bells and whistles. If I rolled up to a corporate shoot, I wouldn't get second guessed with how I've been able to build out my rig. But the box camera is really like, and that's a running joke. Everyone will you arrive to a set, people will look at the camera. This is, I'm going to preface this story, guys. All that other stuff, okay, the matte box, the handles, the external monitors, all of that is just to justify a higher price tag on your work, okay? If you show up with just your body and your lens, people are going to be like, is that, like...
People say that, right?
What am I paying? People will always say that.
When it's true. When you show up
look the part. With all the bells and whistles, they're like, I'm getting my money's worth. This is quite the setup you have. It's the same exact image quality. It's just, from a filmmaking perspective, the rig and the handles let you work a little bit easier, but you'll get it doesn't upgrade your image. It just sells your work better.
Yeah. And it is important.
It's a marketing thing.
Rig. It's a marketing thing. So for behind the scenes, we want people to see that we had a proper setup and be like, oh, that looks legit.
It does help as well, though.
It helps sell the movie.
It does help quality.
And it's to improve quality and everything.
It does help quality as well. I will say when I'm doing handheld stuff, the Blackmagic, for those of you who don't know, there's zero stabilization in this camera. Nothing.
Wait, what about the Pixis? Is that stabilization?
I doubt it. I doubt any film cameras have stabilization.
Wait, so what do we need to get stabilizer?
The backpack.
Oh, okay.
So
with
there's
that,
zero
guys,
stabilization. So holding that camera with a little rig stabilizes it. It helps. But that's all the time we have today, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the topics we discussed. Be sure to... I'm going to sit back down so we can just finish our outro. So, guys, these are our topics. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Be sure to follow, comment, like, subscribe, everything to the Screen Surger podcast to hear our opinion on more topics.